Hey guys, I'm Justin, the founder and CEO of Merchant, and in this video, I'm going to break down our data findings from August 2025. For those of you that don't know, our Page product analyzes millions of data points every month to figure out what is helping Google business profiles rank higher on Google Maps and what's hurting them. And what we're going to do is break down our latest findings. So to start, let's talk about what we were going to do in this month's analysis. What we wanted to do was a little different from usual, where we're tracking the fastest improving businesses. Instead, this time we were looking at just the top ranking 10% compared to the bottom ranking 10%. And we were looking to see what the differences and attributes were between them. And the findings are really interesting. Before I jump into them, actually, I make these videos about once every month. So if you don't want to miss the next one, be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So the first thing that we have to do is figure out which data analysis or machine learning model we wanted to use. I don't claim to be the expert. We have an Ivy League data scientist, machine learning professor that does this for us. And the model that they ultimately went with in this scenario was the XG Boost for all those data nerds out there. And what they found was a slew of different things that led to higher rankings, or rather, that were indicative of whether a Google business profile was going to be in the top 10% of results. And what I'm going to do is walk through those top five here. And then I'm going to finish up the video by going through every single one of them and how you can use Page to optimize for them, right? So this video isn't just going to be the data; it's also going to be how you can use that data to make sure that your Page account is set up to make sure you have the best chance of being in that top performing 10%. Okay, let's jump into it. So the fifth most important thing that we found was that you needed keyword rich reviews, meaning not just reviews, you needed reviews that had your keywords in them. So it's not good enough for your customer to leave you a 5-star review. They need to also say what they liked. The fourth most important thing was the rate of adding new questions and answers on your Google profile. So this is a trend that we started seeing a couple months ago, where Q&As were becoming more and more important. And it seems like Google is trying to train their AI models. And so they're really rewarded businesses that have a lot of questions and answers on them. The third most important thing was having media on your Google business profile, not just any media, a lot of it. So this includes both images, so photos that you've taken of your business, as well as videos that you can take and have on your Google business profile. The second most important thing that we found in August was the total number of reviews. And this one is both a little surprising and not that surprising, because when in previous months we looked at things that would help you rank higher faster, it was the number of reviews that you had in the trailing 90 days. Well, to be at the top, this is saying you actually do need to just have a lot of reviews overall. And so if you're working on your review velocity, that's phenomenal. If you're not, start getting reviews. You'll see that your rankings improve, and then we'll ultimately get you to the top. Okay, and as you saw on the green chart that I showed, there's a lot of things that you can do to help you rank higher, right? There's about 20 different things that you can do here to actually help you rank higher. And we just went over the first four most important things, but doing one of these alone isn't going to help you. What we found is that you actually have to do a lot of these things in tandem consistently and have certain settings on your Google profile to rank, which actually meant that the number one thing you can do, or the number one indicator of top ranking profiles, was how long you've been using Page for. And this is an amazing thing for us to see, because we really put all of our heart into making sure that Page is actually giving you the results to help you rank. And so it's amazing to see the data backs that up, that the number one thing that we found that correlated with the number one rankings, or the top 10% rankings, was how long they use Page. And the longer you use it, the better you're going to do. So let's now dive into all of these things that we found, all these little micro things that add up into being big. And I'm going to show you how you can use these inside Page to actually get the results that you need. Okay, so here I am inside my Page account for our own business. And the first thing that we talked about is active weeks on Page. Pat on the back to me. I've been using it for a long time. So we're all set there. The next thing has to do with reviews and making sure you're getting lots of reviews. So I'm going to click over to reviews and then have a look at our review request link. And this is going to come in handy a couple times inside Page. So the first thing is, make sure that you are using the review request link that Page gives you, because it does a lot of really good things around keywords, which I'll show you in a minute. The other thing that you need to make sure you're doing is, under Account Manager, make sure that you have this not getting enough reviews email going to you, because Page is going to email you every couple of days that you go without getting a review to remind you how important it is, so that you really cannot fail with Page here. The other thing that you can use a page to help you get more reviews, so going back to the review tab, is the QR code graphic. So if you have customers that come into your business, or maybe you have a clipboard and you go to them, print out this QR code and ask people to scan it with their phones so that they can easily be brought to your review request link that Paige gives you to leave you that review. The other thing that you can do is actually order an NFC card. So this allows you to receive a little plastic card that you can ask your customers to tap with their phone when you're in front of them, which will bring up your review request link. We only charge $10 for this. Basically, it's a break-even thing for us because we find it very important. So we go through the headache of actually having a team of people that will ship these out. So if you're having a hard time getting reviews, then be sure to order an NFC card. Okay, the next most important thing that we saw was the rate of Q&As. So under automation, you can automate Q&As with Paige. By default, we have Trust Page enabled. And about 3 months ago, this setting was to ask a question and answer it every 12 days. We've since brought that down to every 4 to 8 days because we're seeing how important it is. If you don't have that many Q&As on your profile yet, you might want to say set custom and do it once every day until you get to around 20, and then change it to Trust Page. And for those of you that don't know, Paige is going to read your website and ask unique questions about your business so that it can answer them and just get as many of your keywords in there as possible. The next thing that we found was just how important it was to add images. So similar to the frequency change, Trust Page used to upload a new image every 4 days. And now if you have enough in there, it'll do it every single day, which is extremely important. And if you don't have that many images on your profile already, then you might want to go ahead and just set it to custom and 1 day, just to make sure that even if you don't have enough, it's still trying and yelling at you if you don't provide images. And there's a couple different ways that you can take images, take them from your phone and then upload them to your review request link, or drag and drop them into the portal, or you can even use integration. So if you have them in a Google Drive or use Company Cam, you can have them automatically pulled into Page. It's also worth mentioning that Page supports both images and video. So take both and upload both as frequently as you can, and make sure that on the account manager tab, you have the alert turned on that says that you need to upload more images. That way, as soon as Page runs out of images, it'll let you know, hey, it's time to upload more. Okay, the next thing that we found is the importance of having many services on your Google business profile. So click on businesses and then view details, and then click see optimizations here. And most people don't know this, but Paige actually can do a real-time audit of your Google profile and tell you what you're doing well and what you're not doing well, so that you have a starting place of what you need to fix. And so here you can see I haven't been doing a great job as of late with a lot of things. But if we scroll down, we're going to go to the services area. I do have enough services, but if I didn't, there's going to be a list of services that Paige suggests you add here, as well as descriptions for them. So definitely come in here and make sure that you clean up the services that Paige is recommending for your business, because we're seeing that the top 10% of profiles typically have more services than the bottom 10%. And don't go crazy adding 100 services. We find that at least 30 is enough. Okay. The next thing that our data showed is that businesses that have a lot of keywords in their reviews are outperforming those that don't. And let me show you the way that we handle that. So by default, we have a feature turned on called suggested reviews for exactly this reason. We developed this as soon as we saw this trend. And so what this does, if I go to suggested reviews, is I can add attributes that people might have liked about my business. And now when somebody says that they had an excellent experience, it's going to show these. And I can click on it and say creativity. And now it's going to suggest a keyword optimized review for your customer to leave, because the number one reason why customers typically don't leave reviews is because they don't even know what to say. And so what this allows your customers to do is quickly generate a review. They can, tweak it a little bit if they want. And then when they say click to copy and go to Google, it copies this review on their device, and then they just have to paste it into that leave a review box that Google has. Voila, an SEO optimized review. Okay, next up on the list is that we saw that the post frequency in the last 180 days was very important, meaning more posts were better. So go over your automation tab and then automate posting, and make sure that you either have Trust Page enabled or that your setting is more frequent than every 7 days. Next up is it is important that you have videos on your Google business profile. So earlier I talked about how you can upload your own photos and videos using our image uploading tool. Where it'll take them, optimize them for Google, and then put them on your Google business profile. Well, we also created an automated video feature a few months back, so make sure you turn this on. And you know that these are turned on if it's a darker highlight with this button enabled. If it's looking a little light there, then it means that you actually didn't enable it. And then here, what this is saying is that we have videos getting automatically created and sent to Google. You can also send them to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I would definitely send them to YouTube if you have a channel. And then what it'll do is make videos for you automatically that kind of explain what your business does. I'll play a little example. If you don't like that voice, you can choose whichever one you want. We added more options a couple months ago, so make sure that you pick the one that meets your brand. You can also give them a sample here. Right. Next up is some people like hashtags in posts and others don't. We actually did see a slight correlation between hashtags being used on profiles and ranking higher. So if you want your post to include hashtags, just go into the train page section for posts and include a note like end all posts by saying hashtag best plumber in LA or whatever hashtag you want. This one's personal preference. It wasn't that strongly correlated. So if you don't want to hashtag, then I wouldn't worry about this one. Okay, I'm going to rapid fire these last couple ones. The next one is whether you're using links for your posts or the call to action. We're finding that if you set the learn more link instead of any of these others, you're actually most likely ranking higher. So have a think about whether you actually wanted to say call or sign up or book. We saw a correlation with offers being on your Google Business profile. So if you found that you didn't have an offer on your profile or Paige is telling you to add an offer here, then make sure to go ahead and add that offer to your profile because it will help. We also see a good correlation between higher rankings and having citations enabled. If you don't know, the way our citations tool works is that it pulls all the data from Google and sends them to all these different directories, keeping them all in sync. And so as you make changes on Google, we automatically send it to all these other directories. So if you don't have that enabled, then I'd have a look at it. We're also seeing an interesting trend on the posting where if you have the option to have your logo and some brand and some call to action on it, which we call branded, there's a slight increase in rank there. So consider putting on the branding if you like how it looks. And that setting lives just right here where it says image styles, brand them all. All right, and lastly, let's head back over to the optimization tab. We are seeing a small boost in rankings for businesses that have put in their texting number and their WhatsApp number and their Facebook page. So go to your optimization page and basically fill this out with every piece of information you have because Google is rewarding the businesses that have filled all of this out. So I know we just covered a lot and I went through it quickly. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you don't want to miss our future ones. That's what we're here for. We love studying the data to see how you can rank higher in Google Maps so you can grow your business. And hopefully you take these suggestions to heart and you actually take the few minutes to update your accounts or your strategies, whether you're a paid user or not, so that you can grow your business. Thanks for watching.